Shri Agarwal, Shri Durgesh Agarwal, my colleague in the party, Dr. Rutvij Patel, the very dynamic president of the Bharatiya Janata Yuva Morcha in Gujarat, all the distinguished invitees for this very important Ahmedabad Design Week this morning, all the young friends coming from different fields but with a common purpose to work towards designing a better India, and to all those aspiring designers that are there in this room, a very, very good morning to you and my best wishes on the occasion of Uttarayan Makar Sankranti, which you have all celebrated in the last 2 or 3 days. A perfect example of design. All those beautiful kites, all those beautiful joyous celebrations that we saw over the last week, celebrating Makar Sankranti and celebrating Uttarayan with the kite flying festival, I think reflect what design is all about. And in some sense, it's very appropriate that the Ahmedabad Design Week is getting launched in Ahmedabad, this beautiful city of Ahmedabad. I don't know if you are aware, it's the world's first UNESCO heritage city. Ahmedabad is the first UNESCO recognized heritage city. And it's very evident that one of the defining features of Ahmedabad has been the fact that it is home to the National Institute of Design. It's home to the National Institute of Fashion Technology. In every respect, this is a city which has been very creative in its work. And I'm privileged that this morning I had another occasion to visit Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel's Statue of Unity, a true tribute to what modern innovation and design can do. And having just come back from Kevadia, it's so appropriate that I address all of you in Ahmedabad, a city which Sardar led as the mayor from 1924 to 28. He was the mayor of Ahmedabad when truly we saw design elements coming into the city of Ahmedabad. I believe the first drains were designed. The city design first started getting articulated when Sardar was the mayor of Ahmedabad, and having just paid tribute to him at the Statue of Unity, I feel blessed to be a part of this program launching both the Ahmedabad Design Week and the excellent convention center, the Shree Shakti Convention Center that my young friend Durgesh, Anilji and all have constructed. My compliments to you, Durgesh. In fact, I was just trying to see how one can describe the mission that you have taken up to bring newer and newer things to Gujarat. And I'm reminded of what Steve Jobs had once said. The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. And I think I've seen in Durgesh over the years, project after project, which many people would have felt is not something that would be very profitable, would be very exciting, would be very conventional in that sense. But Durgesh has always been willing to take those challenges, but do keep it up. You'll have problems all the way, you'll have issues to sort out. But keep this enterprising spirit and the spirit of designing a new future for our lovely city, for our beautiful state, for this wonderful country that we are all blessed to live in. And this kind of enthusiasm for my young friends here is very infectious. It helps everybody start thinking afresh. It helps everybody start looking at how we can be the sculptors of a new tomorrow for India. In fact, what is Prime Minister Modi doing? His job is to design a new India. His work is focused to design a better future for the people of India. He's working relentlessly to design an honest India. He's working relentlessly to see how India can be recognized the world over as a unique country, a country very different from the rest of the world in terms of its rich heritage, its culture, its tradition, reaching the remotest parts of the world, in designing a sustainable India, in designing an India which is environmentally friendly, in designing an India that is a beacon of hope across the world, a world full of uncertainties, a world full of very difficult challenges, grappling with issues which are humongous in nature. But India has the capacity to truly create a new world, a new future for the world. And I think that's what all these young friends, boys and girls assembled here today, are looking forward to do, to be a part of this new India, to be the designers of this new India, to see what we can do to contribute to make India a better place to live in. And I think there can be no better city than Ahmedabad to be hosting this Ahmedabad Design Week. I think it's the first edition of Ahmedabad Design Week. It's a very great initiative. I'm happy to share with you that all our beautiful campaigns that have brought us into government both in 2014, again in 2019, and if one was to go back in several of our other political initiatives, have been largely designed from Ahmedabad. So I have spent days and nights in your city of Ahmedabad, as Pradeep Singh ji also said, designing our campaigns, designing the story of the Bharatiya Janata Party. We have one of our designers sitting right here, Mr. Manish Bardia, who helps us really create some of the best stories around what we want to do for the country. And I must say, this is a city which truly promotes creativity. It truly promotes innovation, design, and in some sense, it's the pathway to a bright future for the country. I still remember when Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji wanted to recreate the Sabarmati riverfront, and he was struggling with great ideas, unique thoughts, newer and newer ways to make it very beautiful. He found some young students of design who actually helped him implement and create such a lovely Sabarmati riverfront. So the power of youth, the power of all of you assembled in this room is something that I don't know how much we old fogies, and somebody was kind enough to call me young. I think it's very sad that in our country, whatever be your age, you tend to be called young, but I'm really not all that young anymore. The youth is sitting right here, and they are the ones who are going to sculpt a beautiful future for this country. And I have the confidence that what Kamal Bhai, what Anil, what Rutvik, all of your team is working to do, to engage with the youth, to engage with all the youngsters of our country, give them an opportunity to express themselves, give them an opportunity to come up with newer ideas, fresher thoughts, is truly remarkable. I compliment all of you and your entire team for the good work that you've done and wish you well in your further endeavors. In fact, if one was to review and assess what design can do, how design can make a difference, I'd like to share a small story with all of you. In many respects, the British have left behind many monuments, many areas where we take pride. We say, oh, this is a heritage structure, this is something very old, very beautifully designed. And we take a lot of joy in that, and I have nothing against it. I'm really happy that we have wonderful places all over the country which are reflective of India's strength and what India has. But when one visits the Statue of Unity at Kevadia, your heart swells with pride at the fact that the whole concept that has been designed at Kevadia, the idea to have Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel's statue there on the banks of the Narmada, right in the midst of the Narmada on a small island, with the very imposing structure of the Sardar Sarovar Dam as a backdrop, with the wonderful arrangements that have been designed around the place, that beautiful statue that's been conceptualized, the sculptor, Mr. Sutar, who actually made the whole design, right up to the extent that you can see every fingernail and toenail, and the beautiful texture of that whole statue, the material that has been used, the design of the two cores in which the lifts are going, the fact that it's the tallest statue in the world, the fact that it's the first statue, it doesn't have a huge base, but the whole load is on the two legs. The fact that even the buttons of the jacket that Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel is wearing in that statue are so beautifully crafted that it takes you back nearly 100 years. This is the true strength of India. This is the power of India that's reflected at Kevadia. The fact that it has today nearly twice the footfalls of what the Statue of Liberty in New York has. The fact that when I reached there at about 8:30, there were already 8,000 people who had entered the precincts of Sardar statue. 8,000 people at 8:30 in the morning. The fact that despite 8,000 people being there, air was fresh, the precinct was clean, well lit up with a lot of natural light, the toilets were spick and span. It reflects what we can do as Indians. It's unfortunate that a mindset has developed around what happens in India, about what we observe and what we experience in India, which very often is a little bit of disappointment, particularly for all the youth. I think a visit to the Statue of Unity can change that mindset. And my own sense is that going forward, I see the Statue of Unity creating an economic ecosystem which is going to be worth at least 1 lakh crore in the days and years to come. I see a 1 lakh crore rupee ecosystem developing around the Statue of Unity, thanks to the beautiful concept and the execution of that concept, the design of the entire area that was thought through by the Honorable Prime Minister. I think that's the strength of Gandhinagar and Ahmedabad, and that's the strength that Ahmedabad Design Week will showcase to the rest of the world, to the rest of the country. As they say, design is intelligence made visible. And to my mind, what designers can do, how designers can articulate a thought, can also be seen as we enter the Shree Shakti Convention Center, when we see the beautiful Make in India design logo shown over there. I mean, who could have imagined such a beautiful logo being designed, being reflective of India's manufacturing skills? Who could have designed Swachh Bharat being reflected in Bapu's spectacles? So beautifully designed. The power of design, ladies and gentlemen, is immense. As Steve Jobs had also said, design is not just what it looks like and feels like. Design is how it works. And that's where I think each one of you have been masters of creating products, services, buildings that really work well, that are sustainable, that have a long life, that are beautiful, that are functional, that use less waste, generate less waste, that probably encourage the circular economy. And for us in India, in some sense, it comes very naturally. After all, if one was to look back at the Indus Valley civilization or Mohenjo-daro, we had architectural design in India centuries ago. The ruins of Mohenjo-daro or the Indus Valley actually show that there were drainage systems and very well designed courtyards, very well planned cities in the country centuries and centuries ago. As Prime Minister Modi says, it is India's responsibility to display its strength to the world through knowledge and innovations. And I think there's no better way to inculcate that spirit of innovation, that spirit of unique design, that spirit of newness in the next generation than to encourage them through such interactions. I'm delighted that you have an expert panel of speakers who will be engaging with the youth who are involved in this Ahmedabad Design Week, who will share their experiences, who will teach some of the thoughts and ideas behind design to all our young brothers and sisters. And designing, and if I may humbly add, packaging. These are two things that can make a significant difference, that can make a significant difference to any and every product. I was just joking with Kamal Bhai that a pocketer that we wear, if it is packaged well, the value can increase 100-fold. A simple thing like a pocketer, if you just package it well, the designing of the packaging is made beautifully or very attractively, it can just transform the pricing of that product. And I think design, good designing of packaging, and then of course marketing becomes a very natural and very simple outcome of that good design. And that is what going forward is going to be the spirit of Ahmedabad Design Week, I believe. I want to make a request before I leave Ahmedabad today. As they say, there's no free lunch. There's also no ministerial visit free of charge. But the request is something that I hope will touch a chord in your hearts. My young friends here, I hope you recognize what Prime Minister Modi has been focused on doing. We are privileged that we come from homes where we have toilets, where we have electricity, where we have quality education, we have opportunities of life which help us achieve good results. But there were many, many people who were left behind in this progress and development of the country. Over the last 5 years, Prime Minister Modi has been trying to change their lives. He's taken toilets to nearly 110 million homes who are deprived of a simple thing like a toilet. 110 million homes. Can you imagine 2 out of 3 ladies, 2 out of 3 women in the country not having a simple thing like a toilet facility at home? Can you imagine nearly 60, 70 million students, children of your age, even younger than you many times, not having electricity in their home? Of course, in Gujarat, you are blessed to have 24/7 power for now over a decade, ever since Prime Minister Modi came in here and made power available to everybody. But there were nearly 60 million children who didn't have power in their home. He has taken electricity to every home in the country. So no child ever is deprived of a simple thing like electricity. He's taken free cooking gas to 80 million poor families who otherwise were cooking on traditional chulas. And our sisters, our mothers, and very often the children playing around the home was taking in 400 cigarettes of smoke. He's been taking skill development to the remotest corners of India so that our children, our farmers, our poor also get an opportunity to hone their skills and become good income earning members. But we have a large section of society which has the skills, which has the capabilities, but yet they are not able to reach out to the market. And those, ladies and gentlemen, are the tribals of India. There are millions of our brothers and sisters living in tribal areas in the remote corners of the country who are deprived of the kind of opportunities that you and I have received. Prime Minister Modi has taken it as a mission to take the products, the tribal products, that very often have beautiful characteristics, but need a little honing through design, through better packaging, through better marketing. And to my mind, several of those skills will die if they are not given an opportunity. Several of those arts, several of those craftsmen's abilities and generational values will be lost if we do not take those products to the rest of the country, to the rest of the world. Can we, as young designers, take it upon ourselves as a mission? Can Ahmedabad lead the rest of the country in taking up tribal products for better design? And it just needs a little honing of that design. Just a little bit more of creativity. They have some wonderful work that they are doing. It just needs that last mile to connect it with the rest of the world. It just needs a little better packaging and marketing. And to my mind, those tribal products can transform the lives of the people living in these backward areas, which today we recognize not as backward areas, but as aspirational areas, aspirational districts. The people there, the young children there, have the skills, have the abilities, did not get the opportunity over decades of independent India's progress. If all of us work together, if all of us hold their hand, if all of us support this initiative, we can actually help them take those products, add that design element, bring about better packaging, take it to the markets both in India and across the world. Help these tribal products get recognition. In some cases, get patents, get design copyrights. Get their skills be recognized across the country, across the world. Maybe all of us can decide that for the next 2 years, or maybe until India turns 75 in 2022, can we all decide that we'll do our Christmas gifting, our Diwali gifting, our wedding gifting through tribal products? Can we all think that we'll at least buy one tribal product every year which will adorn our walls? It could be a hand-painted sari. It could be a piece of art sculpted by a tribal. It could be something made out of mud, something made out of clay, something made out of stone. I'd urge each one of you to reflect what could be our responsibility so that our brothers and sisters who remain left behind in this huge progress that the country is doing, can we become partners in their progress? Can we boost their activities through design, through innovation, help their knowledge reach the rest of the country? And I'm sure this can certainly transform the lives of millions of people. I urge each one of you to consider coaching them, consider guiding them, consider hand-holding them, consider adopting some of these traditional arts. And I see before me a great future for our tribal brothers and sisters. I hope it's not been too much of an ask, but I do hope all of you youngsters will reflect and think on it. Once again, I must compliment Kamal Kishore Hadaji for this unique concept that he's brought to Ahmedabad. Kamalji, please take this to the rest of the country also. The concept is beautiful. Let's see some more of this happening across the country. Durgeshji and Anil, please continue to serve society both through your CSR activities and through the various initiatives like this beautiful convention center. I assure you that I can see before me that this convention center will bring a lot of economic activity to the region, will attract people from across the country and across the world to do conventions in India and MICE, meetings, international conventions, exhibitions. This is the best way to connect India to the rest of the world. I wish this center well. I wish the Shree Shakti Convention Center success in the days and years to come. And I wish all of you a wonderful 2020, a very, very successful year ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Piyush sir. Just a reminder that the theme for ADW this year is World Design 2025. We've seen over 3,000 registrations. A lot of hard work. 3,000 students from all over the country have registered for the next 3 days. So we're really excited to host these students and, of course, have some amazing workshops. Without further delay, I'm going to call Dr. Anuya Chaubey, sir, Provost of Anant National University, to deliver the vote of thanks.